How you doing tonight? This is WOKB Gospel 1680, your urban empowerment and inspiration station. Call us anytime. 407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680 and then is the number. Remember, you can listen as well online at WOKBradio.com. How's everybody doing tonight, family? This is your host, Jay Real. This is Real Family Talk. I hope everybody's having a great evening tonight. Let's go ahead and talk to the people in the building with me here. We got Miss Monica's in the building. How you doing, Miss Monica?
Excellent. How are you doing, Jay Real?
I'm doing all right, Miss Monica.
Good.
Mr. King's in the building. How you doing, Mr. King?
All right. It's Tuesday. I'm ready to talk.
And Jeremy's in the building as well. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, yeah, man, it's Tuesday night as always. Lovely night in the great city of Orlando, where we're always coming live, 9 p.m., Real Family Talk. Let's get right to it, man. If you watch football this weekend, the Steelers won. Celebration real quick. Steelers fans out there. I know, we're 3-6, but I'm still happy about the win, Mr. King. I'm going to celebrate them all, even though I know there will be very few in between this year. But I'm going to celebrate all of those 4 or 5 wins that we get, Mr. King. So get ready.
You and the Tampa Bay fans, I'll celebrate. Y'all in the same boat.
They are, man. I work with a bunch of Tampa Bay fans, man, and there was a bunch of smiles in the building.
I bet it was.
A bunch of smiles in the building. They were a little paranoid in the fourth quarter, but I guess they took a chance, went to Revis Island, and came up empty.
That was a dumb mistake. Every quarterback knows you do not throw to Revis Island in the fourth quarter.
But honestly, that's the first time you really heard his name all season long, really. Revis Island has not been as scary as it has been in years past. So, but
that's just because he got a bad knee.
But yeah, he came up big last night though. So Tampa Bay finally in the win column, number 1. Jacksonville got in the win column this weekend as well. So they're
Steelers got in the win.
That was a miracle.
I'm talking about all the losers winning that week, huh? The Steelers, Jacksonville, Tampa.
I mean, come on, the Steelers were only playing Buffalo. I mean, it wasn't like it was the greatest win in the whole wide world, but we celebrate.
And that's
they lost to the Raiders. Now how you know it's just Buffalo?
It is just Buffalo,
but they got beat just by the Raiders.
Hold on. We a force, okay.
I'm a Raiders fan too, but let's be real.
The Raiders are they're doing better. I bet you the Raiders end in 8-8 this season, which would be an improvement for them.
Better than the Steelers.
It probably will be better than the Steelers.
Let's talk about those Heat that lost to that lost to the Celtics. How does the Heat lose to the Celtics? That's what I don't understand.
The Heat's not a great regular season team. They always show up in the postseason.
No, you can't.
They're
how you gonna say that and they had a 27-game win?
Well, you know what I'm saying? It's not like they're not blowing people away in the regular season.
I tell you what it is. What it is back-to-back, they don't care. It's like, okay, you beat me regularly, so what?
They don't have any goals to beat 72-10.
Yeah,
if they had a 72-10 goal, which they probably could do if they played
I don't think
first 3 quarters like they played in the fourth.
No, I don't think they could do it this year. If they was going to do it, last year was the year to do it. But I don't think they can do it this year.
Wade is actually playing. Kevin Durant challenged him during the offseason, and Wade is going to be playing this season. So I think, if anything, this should be the year that they do it.
Wade played 2 games.
And 2 games more than he played last year before the playoffs.
But he not go. I don't think Wade go play. I'm not saying that he's not gonna play a lot, but I think they're gonna rest him as much as possible during the regular season.
I hope so, because he's injury prone. Him and Andrew Bynum went to the same college.
No, they didn't. You can't even put him in the same league as Andrew Bynum.
Well, they both stay injured. That's all I'm trying to say. Andrew Bynum stayed
in the league 8 years
and got more wins.
He done played a total of 1 year
and got more rings.
Then who?
Then Wade.
Wade got 3.
Wade got 3? Oh, he got 3?
Yeah, man. Don't you?
Bynum got 3 too.
Keep up with the Heat, brother.
No, I don't, man.
Bynum got 2 rings. They got the back-to-back. That's it.
That's it? I really don't count that first one, man. It was a lockout season, and you win. I really don't even count that. They shouldn't even count that as no win. They win during the lockout. You only played 42 games. Woohoo.
Brother, a championship is a championship.
I mean, yeah. So if you got it, go ahead. But that don't really count in
and
my
if you
book.
played in the league, brother, you'd be wearing that ring.
You'll
just
be
as
counting
top.
it too. You'll be like, I got this 42 game.
I got this 42 game ring. Exactly.
I'd pawn that one.
The diamonds shine just as hard.
Yes, they do. And just as expensive.
But it's not the feeling deep down inside. When you're a champion, you strive to win.
Speaking from a fan perspective.
I got Super Bowl rings, okay? I already won 2 rings on 2K14. 2, baby, and I ain't even used LeBron. 2 rings. What?
I can't do nothing but lie. You know, moving on to a different topic here. I was riding in today, and I have a confession.
Oh, wow.
Why am I becoming a Lady Gaga fan today?
I hope not.
A Lady Gaga fan.
Who is that?
Oh, come on, man. Everybody knows who
This
she
is
is.
WOKB.
I mean, it's not so much. I didn't hear any of the. I'm not talking about the radio stuff. I was listening to an interview that she was doing on a radio station today, and she sang live 2 songs. Killed it. I mean, one of the coldest voices I've heard in a long time.
Oh, she can actually sing.
And
She stopped all
killed
the
it
stuff.
with the piano playing and everything. I'm not going to go buy the album or nothing, but
Yeah, you are.
she
Yeah.
killed them songs.
I know you go
He already
download it.
got it.
I have it.
killed
You want me
them
to burn
songs.
it for you?
No, I'm good.
He
She
already
killed
got
them
it.
songs.
I'll bring it back.
She killed
Tarsha
them
Smith,
songs.
your husband will be jamming to Lady Gaga.
She killed them 2 songs
Wow.
live today, man. I'm just saying.
That's all you can say
But
is
here's
wow.
the here,
Wow.
here's the thing about Lady Gaga. You know, she's hey y'all, Miss McCrae is here. She is a lot. She's extra, but she's trained. Like she went to Juilliard. Like she's a trained pianist. She's a trained actress. This extraness kind of makes people forget that. But she has talent, like real talent.
Yes. Yeah.
My only thing is, because you keep saying she. So my only thing is,
Because she's a woman.
She's
Is-
a woman.
I mean, from what I
Don't
heard,
believe that stuff.
from what I heard,
Stop believing everything that's a woman. Her name is Stephanie something.
hey, okay, so this is how it goes. I went to church with a guy
Uh-oh.
who now
All right.
looks like a woman, and it's genuine. So I don't believe that
Okay.
unless I know, because it's ways of fooling people, and it doesn't come out of nowhere.
She's a woman.
Rumors don't just wake up, hey, you know what?
Actually, they do.
They do. Because they said Sierra was a man. They've said somebody else was a man. It's like, come on, y'all.
Sierra's 6'7".
She's
Okay.
not 6'7".
I can understand what they say. If you 6'7",
Where did he get
I
this
can
stuff
understand
from,
that.
man?
I've seen Sierra.
and he
I
wonders-
look up at Sierra.
And he wonders why we call him a
I'm not
conspiracy
gonna go there
man.
with you, Mike.
Foolishness.
Has anybody besides me in the room met Sierra personally?
Foolishness.
I don't need to.
I
read it.
have.
You've met Sierra.
I have.
Did you get the goodies out the cookie jar?
No. No, I haven't.
I'm
Okay.
moving on,
Well,
man.
I've
But
met
wait,
Sierra.
I'm moving
I've met
on,
Sierra.
man.
Lady Gaga wants to perform on the moon.
Yes, that's
Like
all.
real talk. 2015.
Yes,
She is making plans.
but it's not the moon. Actually, what she's gonna do
Where's she going?
is, you know, the
She's not going
the
to the moon.
billionaire owner
Same place that
of
Neil
the
Armstrong went.
Virgin Airlines. You know, he's been building for a number of years, trying to be the first one to build ships so that people can take the experience of going into space. What they do is they basically just fly high enough to go above the Earth's atmosphere. So they're technically not, they're seeing space, but they're not technically in space like you would imagine the astronauts to be. And so anyway, he's sponsoring this event, and Lady Gaga plans to basically take one of these ships, or planes actually I should say, one of these planes up in the air, and then at that particular altitude hold a sing a song or something, or a concert or something she's
She's a
doing. I think it's a
mess.
song. She's gonna
I don't
sing
think
that
that's a
song
mess. I
at
think
at that altitude.
That's really,
but
as
it's not the moon.
as an artist,
Lady
that's something that you would
Gaga.
want to do. Who wouldn't want to perform on the moon? You had a man that jumped from the moon down to Earth. Who wouldn't?
No,
wanna-
nobody didn't jump from the moon to the earth. Again, he went to the edge of the atmosphere.
Oh, okay.
And then
I was being sarcastic when I said the moon. Like I
Oh.
knew she wasn't like No.
I would do it. If they was like, you know what, Mr. King, go ahead and perform on the moon. You think I wouldn't? Put some teleprompters up.
Okay.
Oh my God.
What?
Let them
Okay.
float away. In the
Right.
atmosphere.
Thank you.
You know,
You can't even do a
teleprompters
step.
Oh, God.
I hope
Floating
y'all
away.
really don't think like that. I really, like, I understand y'all get on me for being a conspiracy theorist, but y'all really pretend. I hope y'all pretending that y'all don't really think things float away on the moon, like they don't have machinery and buildings and water and plants already on the moon.
Okay.
No, nobody.
We're not going to go there.
Move on, J-Real.
This is what hold black people back.
Move on,
The
J-Real.
This is what
Conspiracy
holds
Brother
back.
is live and active tonight.
It's been 40
407-894.
Science
1680.
tells us otherwise.
407.
Move on.
Science tell you
All right.
it ain't no God.
Like astronauts, you're not prepared for.
Oh, God.
Gravity
Science say it was
So-
a Big Bang
just
theory.
any
I wanted to talk some big news stories tonight. I had text Mix McCrae about this the other day, and she kind of took offense to me, but that's okay. She does that
You're
anytime.
negative.
It's not negative.
go
So the
ahead.
story was that, as you're sure you've seen in the last week, the president came out and said he was sorry, speaking in reference to the healthcare.gov website and all of the issues that have plagued the rollout and how it hasn't gone well. And he came out and said he's sorry, in addition to the fact that, of course, he said, oh, don't worry, if you like your insurance, you're not going to have to lose it. And then obviously now millions of people are losing their insurance. And so he came out and said he was sorry. And so just to clarify this, Mr. McCrae, my point to you is simply that he's the president. Like, who are his advisors that would suggest to him he needs to go on television and then apologize? For what? That's my point, is apologize for what? You're the president of the United States. Why are you holding a press conference or interview and then apologizing to people for, quote unquote, speaking the truth as you saw it? I don't get that. To me, it's like they always want him to come across as vulnerable or as, kind of being naive. You know what I'm saying? It's almost as he's being bamboozled into some of the statements he makes. And then after the fact, they're like, well, go out and say you didn't know and they'll buy that. Or go out and say you sorry and then it'll be all right. Like, why is he always put in this vulnerable, apologetic state? I just don't get that. He's the president.
He can't
Like,
be the
why would
angry
you tell
black
him to
man.
do that? You wouldn't tell George Bush to go out and apologize to the people. You wouldn't tell, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is he always out there being vulnerable, apologizing to people? I may not like all the things that he does, but the last thing I think he needs to be saying as the president of the United States is, I'm sorry, people, that it's not working. Like, why?
Maybe he genuinely is sorry.
Yeah, showing compassion and just wanting them to know that, he's aware of the situation and he apologizes it hasn't worked out as his plan, because they use all of this, it's his name, Obamacare. Oh, we're, and they fought against
the
him for
president.
so
He's
much
responsible.
about
I
all
get
of these
that.
things. Well, then he should be the person to apologize for the mistakes that are going on, because technically we're holding him accountable for it anyway. So I don't see that there's a problem that he apologized. I think George Bush should have apologized for a whole lot of foolishness. So, yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see it. I think it makes him appear to be weak to apologize, because ultimately the feeding frenzy is going to be there whether or not he apologizes or not. So to apologize actually only validates the criticism. It gives them that much more of an edge to say, we thought you were wrong, and now here you are on the podium, spouting an apology to people, which only to me makes him look weaker in the minds of his adversaries. And you talk about giving fuel to the fire. Why are you giving fuel to the fire? You don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? The fire's going to be there regardless. This doesn't help it. Your supporters are with you regardless. They don't care that it didn't roll out perfectly. They're going to look at it, oh, that's all right. I know you're going to get it together. You're going to figure out a way to make it work. That's your supporters. So who you apologizing to?
I don't know.
That's all I'm saying.
People, that's what he
Just the
apologized.
people. in
The
general,
people
to
don't
make
care.
it-
The
make
people
it
with you.
known.
There was a skit last weekend. I posted it out on Facebook on SNL. Probably one of the best skits I've seen in years on SNL. They called it "How's He Doing?" It had Keenan Thompson, Kerry Washington was on there, and then Jay Farrell on there. And the whole point of it was like a little television show where the reporter, who's played by Keenan Thompson, and his panel, played by Jay Farrell and Kerry Washington, the whole discussion was, how's the president doing? And in the big scheme of things, of course, the whole point of it was, it didn't matter how he was doing, it didn't matter what he did. They were going to support the president. And that was the whole point of the sketch. And they went through a bunch of different scenarios as to, why, different scenarios he could put himself in and how it affect their support of the president, ranging from, well, what if he was an atheist? And they talked about how, well, of course, we'd be disappointed that he didn't believe in God. And the next question was, well, does that change your feelings or your thoughts on the president? Well, of course not. No. They said, well, what if he's a Muslim? Assalamu alaikum, Barack. And they just went through a bunch of different scenarios, and ultimately, it's a joke that I've made on several occasions, which is another reason why I find it so hilarious. It doesn't matter what he does, he's always going to be supported, especially by black people. They even made a joke about the percentage of black people, his approval rating in the black community, how it dropped from 98% to 93%. And so clearly it was falling dramatically. His support in the black community. But yeah, you're the president. Things didn't go how you wanted to. That's, and that makes sense. But, I don't think any other president would have been asked to come on national radio, sit down for an interview, and then say to the American people that he was sorry it didn't go the way they thought it was going to go. I just think that to me is, advocating a weak move by someone who certainly does not need to come off as weak at any point in his presidency due to the fact that they're already looking for the holes. So let's give them to him. That's my point, and that's the only thing I was trying to say. I'm on the president's side on this one, Ms. McCray. I'm like, this don't make no sense. They need to stop doing this to this brother. They need to go on television and be like, well, okay, it didn't work, but that's okay. We're gonna fix it, move on, and leave it right there. And that's what he needs to say. The apology is not necessary. He said that already. Move on. Mm-hmm. This don't help none of the situation at all, man. That's all I'm saying, Miss Monica.
I see what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying. Stop trying to make this man look weak in the eyes of the people, man, and especially the world. How many world leaders go on national television and say to their country, "I'm sorry"?
How many live in
many
live in a democracy?
That's a good point.
Hey, here I go.
That's a good point.
That ain't the point, because a democracy or not, at the end of the day, they all really have some of the same powers. I mean, we won't even go there. But I'm just saying, they don't do that. And I just think it's not right for this guy either, man. He don't deserve that, Miss Monica.
I'm impressed that you are supporting him, so I will take partial of your, debate here.
It bothered me on the inside. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry.
That is so
Get
sweet.
out of here, man. He the president. Apologize to these people. Are you kidding me? All right, man. I'll keep it going. 407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680 is the number. A couple of other quick stories. I was looking online. Can you believe this? Some felons won city council seats in the state of Michigan.
Actually, I'm not shocked when they
Is
said
that-
where it was.
Is that?
Flintstones, man.
To me, I was kind of blown away by that one. 2 felons win city council positions in Flint, Michigan. I mean,
You talking about one of the most dangerous? But you talking about one of the most dangerous cities in the country. I mean, if you need a convicted murder on the city council, if there's a town, that's the one. You need somebody with some understanding.
he gonna have an understanding for the people, bro.
Yeah, but I was reading, and he was saying, well, one of the things he was pushing for, because of the population, people don't realize Flint is like there's 100,000 people. That's not a lot of people. No. When you're talking about being a city and being considered one of the most dangerous cities in the country, and you got less than 100,000 people. So, one big thing he was advocating with it being so many felons in that city, trying to restore rights or privileges back to people who are convicted felons because there's so many of them in the city, and for the city to progress, it's better for the city for them to be working as opposed to them not being able to get jobs because of their record. Mm-hmm. And I do agree with that. In general, not even just there, just in general, it's better for felons to have jobs than them sitting around trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do to make money, because just like everybody would do, you're going to make money the way you know how to do it. In their case, it's criminal activity, but if you weren't a criminal, whatever it is, the best way you know how to make money, that's what you're going to do. So it's just natural for people to revert back to that, especially if they're trying to change and they can't get it done like that.
Got it. Yeah, I just read, when I caught that article, I was like, really? 2 felons? One? Here's the funny thing to me about that whole situation. When you read the article talks about how actually they didn't even find out he was a felon until after the election, because the local newspaper never vetted him. They didn't do any news stories on him. I guess they didn't expect him to win.
But that's the thing. See, that's the people's fault.
The day of, they were like, oh, let's do some research on this guy. And then they're like, wait a minute, he's a felon. Yeah. He's won the city council seat.
Right.
Well, apparently a convicted murderer.
Yeah, a convicted murderer at that. Apparently, though, if you read the story, it says that according to him, he was defending somebody when he got when he was defending someone is the reason why he murdered the individual that he murdered. If the story holds true, at least there was some sort of nobility about his background.
He was like 19,
Yeah, it was still interesting though.
And he did 19 years in prison.
Yeah,
something like that.
Something between 15 and 19.
So he's like in his 40s or 50s now. Jesus forgave. You know what I'm saying? He was like 20-some years ago. What are you supposed to do?
I hear you, brother.
Then he said he studied politics while he was in prison. So at least he wasn't wasting your tax dollars.
No, I guess he was not. He was getting educated.
Exactly.
He was getting educated.
And he came back out and got a job with
yourself in a room by yourself with him. Don't make that brother mad at the city council meeting.
Right.
Where did he go today?
As I heard a comedian say, don't be mad because I use your tax money to get a good education.
No. He was in jail. He was in prison or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where he was locked up. That's how he got educated. Ain't nothing wrong with that. They need to move that back into the prison system.
There you go. There you go, man. Another interesting.
We ain't gonna get on that. That'll be a whole nother 3-4 shows.
Another interesting story I saw. There was a man who won a city council seat, and the city escapes me right now. Trying to see if I can find it again, though. But he won a council seat by making people believe he was a black guy.
Now that's funny.
By making people believe he was a black guy. Now you say, how does a white man?
Do we have a picture?
Yes, he's a older white man too. Like, how does an older white man makes people believe he's black? Well, they do it because they don't do any research. That's why. So here's what he did. In his community, he mailed out flyers. No surprise, people do that. Yeah. But on his flyers, what he did was he had black people on his flyers. Mm-hmm. So he mailed out flyers, black neighborhoods, and the flyers had black people on the flyer. Not his picture, random black people that he found on the internet on his flyer. And then, of course, it had his name on there, and I'm sure he had some blurb about something he believed as well. Then, in addition to that, he also mailed out flyers with with an endorsement by a black man in the city as well, who was popular. Houston, that's where it was. It was in Houston. By a black man who was popular in the city due to his election to state senator. And so what he said is, this person endorsed me, and the insinuation was that because their both last name were Wilson, the insinuation was that they were related. So once again, his name's Wilson, this black man's name is Wilson, so yeah, they must be related.
It was a movie, Eddie Murphy.
And then
Distinguished Gentleman.
Basically. And then so here comes the election. Black people, what do? They go vote for this guy, and as it turns out, he wins by less than 100 votes, I believe it said. And
Can you imagine him stepping
a
out
white
on
guy.
stage
Thank
like,
you.
He's a
hey,
white guy.
who's that?
Cricket.
Right.
Oh man.
Who are you?
Like, really? Like, nobody went. Matter of
you,
fact,
Houston.
here's what's even funnier about the whole situation. He was a Republican at that. He was a Republican at that.
Oh wow.
So, yeah. You know, I posted on Facebook, you know, the reason why you need to do some type of research
Yeah.
To be more
before you
careful.
go to the voting booth. Now, maybe he might turn out and be a great advocate for black people. I don't know. But the idea that he got black people to vote for him by basically sending out flyers that simply insinuated the fact that he might be black.
Wow.
Come on,
Sad.
man.
That's,
Come on.
That's the
Insulting.
Distinguished Gentleman.
Come on,
That movie,
man.
Jeff Johnson.
Vote for Jeff
Vote for
George.
Just for
the
Jeff
name
Johnson.
you
The
know.
name you know.
That was a good movie though. Distinguished
that
Gentleman
was a-
really was
It was
a classic.
hilarious.
That was a
Really
very good movie.
407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680. But yeah, I was blown away by that one. Pamphlets insinuating that he was black. And once again,
Respect the game, bro.
We gotta do better.
He
Yes,
won.
We gotta do
be
better,
more
man.
We
careful.
gotta do better.
we gotta do better, man. We gotta do our research, man. It's
Yes.
important.
Wow.
Not necessarily because they're tricking us and, you know, trying to sell us off white candidates when we're looking for a black one, but, you know, find out who these people really are, man. Don't go vote for people because the pamphlet look good.
Nah, I wouldn't even do that.
Mr. King, would you do that, Mr. King?
Would I vote for them because of well, see, you know, I'm not gonna lie. When we do our accounting thing, we put white people, we put Chinese people, we put black people, we put everything on that flyer to
Because it's
let you
universal.
know we're universal. We're versatile.
Exactly.
Though we don't speak Spanish, if you come in, we will get somebody to translate for you to get your taxes done at BJ Adams and Associates on Kirkman, 805 South Kirkman Road.
Get that, what's that dragon program instead of the
I'm telling you,
Google Translate.
we got Google Translator. That's what we have. We have Google. We will type it in. It'll say it for you. You know, you don't know what a 941 is. We got you. But that's what we did on our flyers. We put black people, Chinese people, white people, just to try to, you know, get all audiences. When you do demographics, they teach you that. You know, you got to get those demographics. So, you know, it worked. It was a good marketing scheme. Am I mad at him because he made people think that they was black? That's the black people's fault. That ain't his fault.
No, you're right. That is the black people's fault.
You're right.
It is.
But nonetheless, it's still hilarious. I still find it hilarious and sad all at the same time.
Wow.
Got to do better, man.
We
You got to do better.
Got to do better.
Got to be more careful.
Research.
Got to do better, man. Another story, man. 407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680. Richie Incognito, he finally had his interview. You guys see the interview?
No.
No, I didn't see the whole thing.
I saw the mess of whatever the other one.
You see what he had to say? Anybody impressed by his interview?
Oh, I
Has
did
your mind
see it.
changed?
Well, go ahead.
I thought it was interesting how it almost made it seem like he had became the victim. Like, dude, what happened? I just want to understand what's going on. Like, really? Like,
I
did
like
you
the
not?
voice, by the way. I like that.
That's what he sounds like. Yeah.
Like, I just was completely lost. Like, what is going on here? You know, do you feel like you are being victimized by making threatening and, you know, insulting comments, but you feel like he has, you know, done something to you now? I was really confused. I only saw maybe the end. I think that was where that was. But I don't know. I didn't follow it completely throughout the beginning, but it just seems very odd that he would just say, dude, what's going on? Strange.
Well,
Go ahead, Jeremy.
no, I was gonna say this. I am not completely. I felt like it was just about the situation in general. It was one of them things where it was. We don't really know what was going on, you know. I think to some degree, you know, wrong or not, he felt comfortable. He was communicating with the guy and just communicating back and forth. That he was comfortable with him, and he felt the other Martin was comfortable with him, and they was talking to each other like this. If they conversated like this on a regular basis, I mean, he didn't think he was so wrong. I mean, obviously he found out at the last minute, I guess, but still at the end of the day, we still don't really know what happened or what the whole totality of the situation is, because if I'm not mistaken, they were saying the Martin was getting treated for like emotional distress or something. Mm-hmm. So it's like, is it because of this situation, or is there something else going on with the guy? To me, it seems like it's something else going on.
Right. They said he was hospitalized. I mean, basically, to me, that makes me assume that he was Baker acted. That is not a quote from anyone, but when you're hospitalized for emotional distress, usually it's because you've gone into a facility.
Can you say that word again? He was what?
Baker acted.
Oh, okay.
But as I said, that is just my opinion, not that anyone said that. But generally, when you do go into the quote-unquote hospital for emotional distress, it is because you've been admitted voluntarily or involuntarily. So I agree that, something had to be happening for him to be admitted into the hospital for emotional distress, because he would have had to make a case that he wanted to harm himself in some way. So it can't just be, racial comments that makes him want to harm himself. So something deeper was going on that they're just covering.
Yeah,
definitely something's going on, man. To me, though, his attitude in the video is, like I said, people are so desensitized to that word that people don't get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's almost like you have to, not necessarily be old, but older to even get, why this is even such a big deal. I saw a couple of, Shannon Sharp did, he was talking about it this past weekend on CBS. And, and he had a very good statement about how, people, or at least sometimes it seems, younger people, because obviously he's in his 40s or something to that nature, don't get the significance of that word and why it is such a big deal for him to be calling Martin that name. And it's not just, brush it under the woods, but it seems like, unfortunately, in this day and age, young kids, again, they're so desensitized to the word because, if you listen to, most of them listen to rap music. You listen to rap music, it's said, like they give out Skittles at a birthday party if you listen to the songs. And obviously, rap music is enjoyed by a wide range of cultures these days. You got Chinese people, saying it. You got Japanese people singing the songs. Obviously white people in this country are singing the songs. Australian people are singing the songs, and yeah, the songs got the word nigga in them. So yeah, they're singing these songs, and so they're so desensitized to it that it's almost like that's what people say. But I'm not as old as Shannon Sharp, but I'm old enough that I don't even like when Spanish people say the word. You know what I'm saying? And we're minority brothers, if you will. That bothers me to hear them saying it, let alone to hear white people saying the word. It's like they just don't get it. And the brothers in the locker room that are still riding to die for this brother, like. I don't get it, man. Like I said, it's a level of consciousness that I just don't fathom.
I can't agree with you, Brother Real, only because we support everything that still uses the word. As far as television shows, as far as movies, as far as music, the word is used everywhere. If we as people stop supporting whoever used the word, then it would be a change. But as long as, we can say we don't like this and we can say we don't like that, but then we don't do nothing about it. And so that's why I feel like even in the locker room, it's just a word. There's just a word. And so once we stop giving the word power, then we'll stop overlooking it. And that's how I see it. So that's why I say if they had just had a relationship where they were just talking and just like you said to anybody else, it's just a word. He didn't give the word power until, maybe he was emotionally distressed about something else. And a lot of things were on his shoulders, and that just, was the icing on the cake. I don't think that it should have went as far as it went. I really think that Brother Incognito he had a bad reputation from the beginning. and then something else happened that just kicked it over. But I think Brother Martin, the one that has the real problem.
Wow.
I agree. I mean, I think he has a problem. I'm talking. I mean, mental issues.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think that's where the real problem is, because I don't think this man ran off from that team because dude called him that.
I don't think he ran off specifically to that particular voicemail, but certainly he could have ran off, through a combination of other things that might have been going on. I mean, the voicemail is just a piece of the puzzle. I wouldn't necessarily refer to it as.
Honestly, I don't even think the voicemail is on the game board. To be honest with you, because you talking about the end of the day, all this stuff. When somebody go off like that, this stuff right here ain't got nothing to do with it. This probably some stuff he been dealing with in high school.
What's the incident where they were in the cafeteria and they were clowning him? He went to go sit down at the table and all the other guys got up and left, and that was when he went berserk and left
before
the
that
facility.
they took his plate and I think they dumped his plate over or something to that nature.
Yeah.
And
So was this
that's when
before the text message or after?
That I think that voicemail I think is before all of that incident. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So
Like I said, I don't. The voicemail in and of itself isn't. I think what caused him to leave, but it's probably just a combination of. But again, to me, he couldn't have been my teammate and left that voicemail on my phone, and then it just would have got water under the bridge. Right. I'm sorry, I don't ride like that.
Well,
he couldn't have rolled with me like that.
I think
we wouldn't have never been that close.
And Trevor Rose said it best. One thing too, before all this came out to this extent, it's like, man, that's a grown man. At what point did you say, "Hey, I ain't having it"? You know what I'm saying?
But again, you know what though? That's
you talking about
I hear you, but everybody doesn't react that way.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
That's
but
neither here nor there. Everybody is not going to react
to an extent. It is here there, because what we're talking about. Well, I mean, the issue at hand, or whatever the case may be, is what, quote unquote bullying, or whatever the case.
No,
may be.
I don't think we're talking
or
about
hazing, or what. I mean, I'm talking about this whole issue, how it started, or they say it started. Let's say that. If it's a situation where, that's why I said at the end of the day, it's dude got some mental issues.
It has to be, man, because you a grown man.
You're a grown man. If that's not the case. You've been playing football your whole life. You can't sit here and tell me you finna let somebody just punk you like that.
On your team.
And you on the offensive line. Do y'all realize what offensive linemen do?
How big he is?
But
I understand that.
What
but
they do is throw people around the field the whole
That doesn't change
game.
how. That doesn't necessarily mean in their personal lives that
No,
he's gonna
that man
go
went
out
to
and
Stanford.
You know what happened?
Do y'all know how Stanford plays football?
What happened was
they like the only team in college football that play power football.
It's too much.
That means they take you and throw you on the ground, and they running back run by you.
Pink in the NFL. Once you get all that pink out the NFL, you'll get all these emotions out the NFL. You'll get all this other stuff. It's too much pink. Once the NFL start going pink for an entire month, I understand it's breast cancer. Yeah. Save it for the WNBA. Okay?
Get out.
Really?
Once you get all this pink,
Take your headphones
now all
off,
of a sudden,
stand up,
all these emotions
and walk out
you know
the
what?
door.
We was in the shower and
Turn
he
off
said
his mic.
that I don't like my toenails.
Just turn it
and
off.
so now I don't want to be on the team no more.
Let's
Are
just
you
move this
serious?
That's what happened.
out of the way.
You know what it is though.
They getting emotional.
No, but
I can say
to piggyback on what he's trying to say though, I believe today really,
You cut off.
just in general, in certain situations, I think men are too emotional. They taking stuff too personal. As far as before, it'd be like, okay, whatever. You ugly too. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, they said all pouting. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this, bro. I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say this. I do agree with you that that yes, probably what we refer to as the average male, especially the average football player, had they been in that situation, the reaction ultimately that Martin decided to do probably is, would definitely be considered on the fringe of what you would expect that type of person, the reaction that you expect from that type of person. But, at the end of the day, what we have to be honest with ourselves about is that there's also several other ways that people react in these situations. So one, they run away. Two, they get into these huge fights and arguments. 3, they bring guns to the stadium or to the practice field and let you know that you ain't gonna talk to me like that no more. 4, they take guns and then to this practice field, to the stadium, whatever the case may be, shoot somebody to confirm the fact that you ain't gonna talk to me like no more. So there's a wide range of things that people do under these circumstances, and how one individual is gonna react, we don't know until that individual is placed in that situation. So to say that he's somehow less, to say that there's something wrong with him because he didn't react like the average football player, I think is picking on him in a way that shouldn't be done. He reacted the way he reacted. This man said what he said, and that man needs to suffer the consequences for thinking it was cool to talk to another player that way. Because quite frankly, I think if they were all being honest about the situation, I think most of the people in the NFL would clearly let you know that they would have had some words with him and laid him out. And you're right, they wouldn't have reacted like Martin because they would have been in a fight with him for saying that to him. But because he left doesn't make him any less of a person than those guys that would have stepped up and slugged him in the face and stood over him and said, "Say it again."
It doesn't make you less of a person.
All I'm saying,
it just shows that you wear pink. That's all it does. Because any real man would have slugged you in the face. Any man wearing pink gonna do what he gonna do.
Hold on. But this is what I'm saying.
Coming from a woman, I expect that. Coming from a man, I'm gonna hit you in your mouth, and that's bottom line. But every pastor knows that. It's a line that you cross with a pastor. And a pastor gonna hit you in your, what he was on Preachers of L.A., he was like, I'm going to the hood to get my sister because she's on heroin, but I know these OGs, so I'm taking my Glock with me, because that's what a man does. A man get in a man situation, you handle it like a man, even as a pastor. You don't go and be like, well, he picked on me. No, who does that? Not no grown man.
You didn't go from...
I'm telling you, like, you don't go...
We didn't go from football
in middle school
to pink. To the Preachers of L.A.
Because that's what, no matter where you at, it's only one right answer as a man. It's only one.
Are you? I'm not even gonna go.
But here's what I'm saying. Here's what that's to me. Like I said, to me, it gets back to a mental issue. Just going back to what you were saying, how the different ways people react. Every one of those situations you said, we attribute somebody reacting to the way to what? Something wrong with them. They bring a gun, they kill somebody, go down the line. Everything you said outside of him just jumping up and fighting and saying you're not going to hit me, we would attribute that to somebody with mental illness.
Correct.
That's why I said...
you could attribute somebody jumping up and slugging somebody in the face.
Yes.
If they insult you...
Can you speak to that?
Hold on.
No.
How is that bipolar?
How is that bipolar
if somebody insults you and you...
on,
if they insult you to the point where one person will walk out of the room and you hit them, isn't that normal?
Why is it normal for a black man to hit somebody?
I ain't talking about no black man. I'm talking about a man.
A man
in
is
general,
man.
to be physical.
Because from the beginning of time.
To respond to anything.
From the beginning of time, this is how we get our women. We club them upside the head, and then we take them on home. That was the beginning of time, boo-boo.
But see, but I'm talking about the man. If you watch the NFL, if you say just play percentages, if you just say play percentages, the white people fight more than black people do.
Don't look at hockey.
No, seriously. If you look at the NFL, who do most of the fighting in the NFL? It'd be offensive linemen, and I would say probably the majority of them, if not at least half of them, are white.
I guarantee.
And they the ones do the most fighting. They do. They start fights with everybody.
When not one hockey player go out there in no pink.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I bet you that.
Please leave.
And they play in October. I bet they won't be out there in no pink. They talking about we gonna fight in pink? Ain't no NHL ain't having that.
Pink does not make a difference.
Thank you.
Okay, it's called an enabler. It starts somewhere. Once we get you with that, then we get you with this. Then you already got your hand. Never mind. I'm not even going.
Are you trying to say that men that wear pink are less masculine and cannot fight?
I'm trying to say that before Lil Wayne, wearing pink meant you were less masculine and could not fight. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. After Lil Wayne, then it was cool to wear pink. But you know how that go.
I'm not even.
I think.
I'm not.
Well, we don't need to go.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna ask you one question.
Keep it moving.
Let me ask you this one, Brother J. Real and Brother Smith. When you was in high school and in college, if you seen a brother wearing a pink shirt, not a V-neck, just a pink shirt that said polo on it, when you was in 11th grade.
Well, let me shut you down, dog. when we were coming up, ain't nobody wear no pink.
Oh, okay.
If you wasn't pimping, if you wasn't pimping and you ain't had no car full of women, you ain't wear pink.
You ain't wearing no pink. But in I think it was 2000 and maybe one, there's when pink just came on back. Cross colors went out, pink came in.
I'm not necessarily one to advocate. Okay, if you wear pink, that obviously make you make you
brother.
this way or that way. But
No.
I will say
truly
I
doesn't.
will say to Brother King's point, what it is though,
It makes
and
you
what it has
soft.
become. It is in the labor. It's just like that first step.
Thank you.
I
That's what it's
do
all about.
agree
What?
with that.
And that's what
I
Satan
do.
does.
Wearing
No.
pink is
All
a
right.
first step
No,
to
no,
a
no,
change.
no, no,
That's
no.
what
I'm
I'm
saying
That's
what I'm
how the
saying
enemy
Is that
is
what
works.
you're
no. What I'm
The
saying
enemy
is how
works in steps.
Shut up, move.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
trying to
I'm not
preach
saying
that.
just
What in the
because
world?
somebody wears pink, it starts there. What I'm saying is the effect it has had overall. Because if you really pay attention, once they started wearing pink, the boys have got more feminine. They really have. If you pay attention, watch the teenagers around.
Oh my God.
Ever since then, no, pay attention.
Well,
I can't.
Let's be
Oh,
real.
hold on a
It's
second.
pink
Hold on.
and
47894.
soy-
Okay, let me ask you this.
1680 is the number.
Soy?
Let me
Soy has a
407
feminine
894
hormone inside. I'm telling you,
1680.
you can Google it. Soy has a feminine hormone.
let me ask
inside.
you let me ask you this then.
That's why all the altar boys
Okay,
drink soy milk.
let me ask you this then, Miss McCrae. I'm gonna ask you this. Did you see any young boys wear skinny jeans before they were wearing pink?
Yeah, rockers
Yeah.
have been wearing
I'm not
skinny
talking about
jeans.
rockers. They don't count. They not us.
They do.
They not
I've
us.
seen pink way before skinny jeans.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You saw the pink first,
Pink first, yeah.
then you saw the skinny. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's why I say it's a starting point. That's what I'm
see.
trying to say.
I
And
see.
as you see now, the boys have gotten overall. The boys around the way they are more feminine. That's all I'm saying.
Especially the football players.
All right, we'll keep it moving here.
Please.
But
Please.
I'm just
Please.
saying, be honest. It
Uh,
started off.
Conspiracy
We're gonna
of
do it
pink.
It started off with
Start a
almond.
blog.
We're gonna keep it
Mr.
moving
King.
here.
It
Start
went
a
from
blog.
almond
Hey, we can.
Oh my God.
to
Soy
soy.
milk.
Now he's talking about the milk.
so
Yes.
almond.
I'm
We're
telling
keeping
you.
it moving, man. Another story, man. Another story, man.
Please keep it
Another
moving.
story, man.
That is
Pink.
all.
I'm telling you, that's
All
all they
right.
do. They give you soy milk when
Jimmy.
you're in the Catholic Church.
Jimmy.
We're
Jimmy.
moving on, man. We're moving on.
Thank you.
Yes.
So another story I saw in the news that just kind of took me back for a second. I mean, I think it's not. We're not foreign on the idea that atheists are on the rise in this country. I think that's pretty common. People's faith in believing there is a God, let alone faith that of what He can do, is dwindling. And so I ran across this story though that now there are some British comedians who are heading this atheist worship movement.
None but the
And so here's the idea: they're actually on a tour. They started off in Britain, and they touring the country in their home country, and now they're in the States to do their act. And so the odd thing about this whole thing, they're called one's called Sanderson Jones, and the other is Pippa Evans. And the crazy part is now they do everything, really in the vein of what you would think of your normal church doing. They sing songs together. After they sing the songs, they listen to like an inspirational message by someone. And then after the inspirational message, they take up a donation or in reference, really like an offering of some kind, and they're doing this all on a Sunday morning, just like people go to church.
So ridiculous.
But and the article dubbed it "Atheist Mega Churches
Right.
are cropping up around the world." That's the title of the article. Atheist mega churches are cropping up around the world, because that's these two comedians' plan, is to basically tour the world promoting this idea of atheists getting together, and I guess it's not really worship, but getting together and congregating with one another in their love for
Not believing
not believing in
in
God,
Right.
anything. Just
Right.
straight.
not believing in
ridiculous.
God.
To me, the spit in the face is okay, but you're gonna do it on Sunday morning.
Right.
You're gonna have basically you're having a church service. That's what you're having,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
because everything is in the same vein. Like you say, oh, there's nothing wrong with. inspirational songs and hearing an inspirational message. Yeah, da da da. So if that's the case, why are you even taking this as a structure? Why are you taking the church as a structure and just kind of supplanting your thing in it?
Right. The article, when I read it, they quoted a few people, and they were saying, well, what we miss about the church experience is what we get here. So they love the songs, they love an inspirational message. They just didn't love the structure or the belief in a God. But then you call it a church.
Right.
So that's the problem. It's like, okay, if you don't want to believe and y'all just want to get together and sing songs, we can't stop you from doing that. But you call it a church?
And you know, I'm curious. What are you singing?
It says they were singing
Lean on Me. Didn't they sing Lean on Me?
They were singing Lean
Are
on
you
Me.
serious?
Yeah.
Lean on Me. Here Comes the Sun. Are a couple of the songs that were mentioned in the article that they were singing.
It's just a blatant counterfeit type of experience, and it's meant to just be a distraction. I think it's just
And it was what? It wasn't at the Staples Center? One of them in L.A.? It was at the Staples Center?
It was in L.A. I didn't catch the venue.
I think
But yeah, it was in
That's
LA.
probably gonna be bigger than Scientology.
hundreds of people.
Probably.
That's gonna be bigger than Scientology. Watch.
Because you ain't got you have no system, at least for now.
No structure.
Yeah, for now. But if they actually organize it, it's just going to turn into another organized non-religion. That's all it's going to be.
Right.
This is just a stepping stone. This is how it starts. It's just a stepping stone.
It's
Just like wearing pink.
I knew it. I knew it was coming. That's
so
why.
I like the familiarity there. That's what I like.
She knows
You
me.
can see the chemistry. You can
She knows me
God.
very well.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I like that.
knew it was.
it's the theme for the day.
It's okay.
Men
But-
just don't
but
wear pink.
I've
honestly,
never seen either one of
Quoted
y'all wear
by
pink.
Mystic.
Well,
I've worn.
honestly,
Excuse
that,
me.
I have a
honestly,
You
I
better
think
not wear
I
no
think that's all this
Deltas
is.
look good in all colors.
I'll take a
Thank
picture
you.
of
Go
you.
ahead. What'd you say, Jeremy?
I think this whole setup is just a setup for something bigger coming.
Of
It's
course.
starting here, and then they're gonna push some kind of. They got an agenda behind it.
Because you know what?
They got an agenda behind this.
The atheist church will accept them that wear the pink. And there'll be no
Okay.
problem because you cannot go into a Christian church acting all flamboyant. They will not have that. But at
Well,
the atheist
So
church,
let's be honest,
some
brother.
churches.
One, church is acceptable and will accept anybody that walks through the doors. Two, there are some Christian-based religions who are being a lot more open to use your words,
the pink.
people that wear pink.
Please stop. Don't.
But
even.
to gays and lesbians, so churches are being a lot. Some churches are being a lot more open. Not so much in preaching against them, but letting them come into church and be who they are in the sense, marry them as a gay or
Is
and
that
lesbian
wrong?
couples, and sort of advocating that.
well, I'm not talking about the
s-
marrying part because I know the marrying part is definitely wrong. But it's allowing them to come in your church and just do what you want to do because we accept you as you are.
I would say
They
this
already there.
as a personally, I believe this. I don't think there's nothing wrong with them coming in the church. Now, what
No.
you allow them to do might be a whole nother story. Now, do you allow them to parade around in front? Now, I don't. I don't agree with that.
I mean, it all is a sin. I mean, we tend to, especially in the church, we tend to weigh sins, but it's just like, asking the question, would you allow someone to come to church that constantly lies
Right.
and doesn't pay tithe or doesn't do something? We allow it and we hope that they get delivered
Right.
in whatever situation that they are in. But you shouldn't, pacify it or, support it. You should give them the truth and the truth of
Right.
the error that they're in.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. I don't like when they pacify it and be like, well, we're not going to talk about this subject or
Yeah,
this
I don't
type of
agree with that
thing
either. I don't
because we know Brother Johnson over there wears pink.
Right.
I don't like that.
But back to what kind of got us here, in this atheist movement. Here's where I find the danger in this. This movement is obviously being led by white people,
There go your problem.
and
right there.
and so and the thing that you say where is this going? The thing that concerns that I think should be of concern is it's a movement that's growing. It's white people. White people tend to get organized when they want to get organized. They tend to do very well at raising money, and therein lies, I think, the ultimate problem, because as the money pot gets bigger,
that's what,
the advocacy grows. You know what I'm saying? The advocacy grows. And that's the danger, because as the money pot gets bigger, what is it that they're going to begin to advocate for? And because they have the large money pot, what pockets will they be able to line? And what things will they be able to initiate? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all know politics is not about, we want to say it's all about politics, but a lot of politics has to do with money too. And, unfortunately, that is the case, but it's also in truth, or it's at least the truth I believe anyway, I'll say that. And so as the pot gets bigger, what are they going to advocate for? What changes are they going to be looking to initiate within, whether it be education, whether it be, government, whatever it is that they take a hold to, I look at it no different from the gay and lesbian movement that has occurred over the last 10 years. And we can see how they mobilized. I mean, we went from no states or one or two states fighting to approve the same-sex marriage to now we have 15 states, where it's legal, and that's what it is. It's legal.
And they about to get their own bathroom.
It's where it's legal. And where does that come from? That comes from being able to mobilize, raise funds, and advocate, and so that's the danger. That's the danger, if you will, when it comes to this atheist movement and this whole idea that they're creating these quote unquote mega churches, just to use the line that the article used. And that's the danger, I think, that we have to watch out for, because we all know that there's an attack on religion in this country. And it's coming from a lot of different places, not even just atheists. It's even coming from inside the Christian churches, across the country. And so to see this type of movement growing and gaining steam is certainly, I think, troubling, and certainly something that I think we have to definitely, keep our eye on, and not just, these crazy atheists, because they're not just crazy atheists anymore. They're mobilizing.
I don't understand why we don't. We see that they do it. They do what we do, but we don't do what they do and make it positive. Like you say, they take the church and they take the day and they take the music. They take the whole meaning and just make it for them. But we don't do that unless it's music. We'll take the worldly beats and then we'll, put gospel to it. But that's about as far as we go. We don't even try to get back in the school. I don't see anybody, from a Christian standpoint, fighting to get God back into prayer, fighting to get God back into, in God we trust. But as you say, the atheists are making movements, but we just don't do any type of movements, nothing recently, nothing in my generation that I can think of. I am probably younger than all of you, but,
Really?
I'm sorry, Miss Monica is younger than me. I take that back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, get it straight.
Thank you. Get him, Monica.
You look oldest.
Ooh.
Oh,
You know what?
I'll see you outside.
Right.
No, but seriously though, we don't do anything though. We don't try to make any changes. I think we aren't solution oriented. And that's a major thing with me. I try to stay solution-oriented. I see a lot of problems, but how we going to change it? What we going to do? I don't care about talking about the problem. I like to talk about the solution.
Well, I think the solution is simple. We have to mobilize just like they do. There's your solution. When we're going to get serious about our mobilization. This is Real Family Talk. This is your host, Jay Real. As you know, this is WOKB Gospel 1680, your urban empowerment and inspiration station. You can check us out online, WOKBradio.com. 407-894-1680 is the number. See you next week. Follow us on Twitter, Real Family Talk, the website, realfamilytalk.weebly.com.
WOKB, Winter Garden, Orlando.
It's Gospel 1680, WOKB, your urban empowerment and inspiration station. It's the 10 o'clock hour, J Real and family. Great conversation. I enjoyed you guys all the time as usual. We're going to get into some great music right here. A throwback jam, River Milton Bronson and the Thompson Community Singers. He's a way maker. He's a way maker. That's right, a way maker right now on Gospel 1680, WOKB.